Good day, everybody, and welcome to this channel. And let's go together and say no to cyber psychological torture. It's evil, it's bad, it's cruel, it's crime against humanity, and it should be stopped. And all those people who perpetrate this crime should be taken to book, sentenced to life imprisonment. It should be eradicated in the whole entire world. It's evil. Today, once more again, I'm still on the topic of life as a TI in the Namibian country. As far as you know, I'm cyberneted. I'm cyber psychological tortured. For the past 23 years by the Namibian government, which is the state security, is the side of the intelligence system. And as a result, please, if you are watching this video, don't forget to like the video and also subscribe to the channel, as your love and your support is very important, and we need it. As far as I'm concerned, today I want to talk about the role of government. Government should not be allowed to behave like God and stuff like that. That uh, you know they do things like, for instance, what I mean is this technology that is being used by the intelligence systems, that that they are able to hack a human brain, and also able to read what you are thinking. What I'm trying to say that when it comes to crime, crime is an act that you do. That's why when you are prosecuted there in court of law, the question about your act, not thoughts. Thoughts are not crime. Thoughts are just things that you imagine. But if you don't act to your thoughts, then you are not guilty of any crime. But today, as the government of nowadays, since they have adopted this technology whereby they can hack people's minds and read them. So in fact, what they do is that they accuse people through what they think. Like, what is going on with me? I'm being accused mostly of what I think, because they can read my mind, because they have hacked my brain, and they can read my mind also, and also they can manipulate my mind. They can do whatever they like, and of course, in the eyes of the people. You see, I remember in one of this video I said about this remote neural monitor that it was doubled a weapon of mass destruction, because of the similarity that they gave it. They gave that name to it because of those similarity between weapons of mass destruction, like the nuclear weapons, that is not debatable to parliament. Like, is what, whenever you want to refer a topic about those weapons, it's more like it's classified information. So this remote monitor also, it is also given that status that it's not debated in the parliament. It's classified, so top secret. So, even that's why it's so difficult, even me, because the intelligence are doing this over me. But people have no right. Nobody has the right to question what they are doing to me. So in fact, that's why I'm trying to expose this thing that is evil, and the fact, the reason why, the motive why these people are torturing me. It's false. It was out of 23 years when I was working at sea. It was out of false backlash from the community of Walls Bay 23 years ago. That it triggered. That was triggered by the incident that happened. That when I was affected by mental illness, associated with CFR, because I was exposed, to abnormal environment at sea. So in fact, when I was showing those symptoms, I did something, some incident there, that raised some eyebrow from the community, which means that I was mistakenly of being regarded as a criminal or a pervert who did something indecent and violent in public in order to gain fame, which is very wrong. And this thing, caused me a lot of backlash from the community, forced backlash, and this led to, unfortunately, the state security, to start monitoring me with this weapon of mass destruction, this remote neural monitor, that have marginalized me, that have brought me a lot of suffering today. That I'm now 50 years of age, but I have got nothing to show for my age since they started in my 20s. Now I'm 50 years, so they have been marginalizing me, been torturing me for the past 23 years. There's nothing that I can do for myself. What they do is that broad, they broadcast voices in the comments that are audible, which means they are defaming me. They are telling people things that are not true, things that are lies, that things that are tarnishing my image. So in fact, I have become somebody, who has been whose image has been tarnished. That I cannot do anything. Even an employer cannot employ me because of what they are broadcasting in the society. And this thing is very wrong. That's why I was coming to the people that they should not allow something like this to happen. It's very wrong and very unfair. You know, I'm being abused in front of the people while they can see, because these voices are audible, and I've already informed everybody to come to my channel, that I tell them what it really is. What was supposed to happen back then 23 years ago in 2001 in Wolfsburg, when I was affected, when I was showing those symptoms of mental disorder associated with CFR, is that my employer, which was the Ministry of Fisheries, was supposed, to mitigate or to protect us psychologically when we were working, when we were exposed, in an abnormal environment, which was a very mental stressful working environment. So in fact, things like mental illness are susceptible when you are exposed to that environment. So in fact, I was not excluded. That's why some of us, we succumbed to that unfortunate incident. So in fact, what they were supposed to do is that they were supposed to protect us, like to mitigate us on land and also at sea, to see that we are protected from that psychological effects that was caused by us being exposed to such an abnormal environment. But they never did that. So in fact, even that incident that these people are torturing me, by which they are using me, happened on the day that I docked from the sea. I can still remember that day, which means that if the Ministry of Fisheries had somebody who who cared, who was caring for the mental well-being of sea, sea inspectors or workers at sea, that day he could have detected that I was having a problem. He couldn't have released me to go in the public, and make a fool of myself or do something that brought a lot of disgrace in my life. They could have prevented that, but there was nobody. There were no social workers there who could have been cancelled us whenever we came from the sea before we meet the normal world. But we were just released in the normal world. Hence, whatever happened, happened. Because there was nothing in place like that. Even when things happened, they didn't take any decision to see that maybe I'm checked in a rehab to go and be rehabilitated, and to see that I get mental health care or aid, you know. But they never did something like that. Instead, they heard what has happened. They just looked for me and sent me back at sea to worsen the situation. You understand? So they never did anything. They didn't even take initiative to see that those supervisors of mine, to see that okay, this is what is happening. Our colleague, he's been hyped, or he's receiving negative publicity because of this. And this somebody has not caused this on himself. So let's report this to the government, and see that his identity is protected. But they never did that, because me, I was not aware whatever was going on. I came even to know the situation afterwards through the remote neural morons who were broadcasting. That's the way I came to know about these things. But I was not aware. That's when I came to realize that, oh, I might have did something like that or something like that. So in fact, it was a job of the Ministry of Fisheries, to see that I'm checked in a rehab, to see that my identity is being protected, from being drawn into disgrace of because of the nature, insulting nature of the Eastern that happened. But they didn't worry about that. They still continued. So that's why today, because from there I suffered a lot of health problems that resulted in mental health problems, because I was not taken to a rehab and received counseling. So I just suffered at home. So in fact, I have to suffer for a long time. So it was something that was maybe supposed to take even 6 months, and I was supposed to go back and fit and get back to life. But it took me like 6 years or 7 years, without any professional care. And after this, that's why I've decided to make a YouTube channel, because these people who decided, to condemn me with this cyber psychological torture, they are still doing it even today. They are still broadcasting voices, which which is the state, which is the Namibian government, the intelligence section. They are still doing it, you know. In fact, that's why I was saying that these people I think are very, very stupid, because most of the symptoms that these people used in order to torture me, they disappeared. The moment I quit working at sea, so most of those symptoms disappeared. But I see that these guys are very stupid, because they cannot see that they still continue torturing me. Even they are torturing me with wrong reasons, but they are still doing it. That's why I was trying, to ask the people that if you are watching this video, please help me, because I know that it's the government, but I need the people's help to identify these idiots, so that I can identify them and take them to court. I want to sue them for defamation, loss of income, and damages. Because this is very unfair. They are abusing my basic human rights. I don't have the rights, to my privacy. I don't have the rights to my own personal opinion, because whatever I think, whatever I say privately, they broadcast it, in the public, you know, and it's very, very wrong and very unfair. Please help me, to end this nightmare that the government is putting me on. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.